watching her new all-time favorite show. She'll tell you what that is. It's not Shake It Off or Shake It Up.
Shake It Up.
Shake It Up. 97 won the ticket.
97 won the ticket.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. Mortgage interest rates right now are at an 11-month low. Call 248-308-5000 or chat with us online at davidhallmortgage.com. Lower payments, better options, more personal attention.
Call Mark C for the C guarantee.
You have $1 million home? I got $1 million buyers lined up. Hi, it's Mark Z with EXP. When it comes to luxury homes, nobody spends more money marketing your home. You need the Z guarantee. If I don't sell your home in 98 days, I'll sell it for free. I'm not bragging. I'm applying for the job. Call me, Mark Z, today to start the package.
Get the Z guarantee. Call Mark Z. Call 844. LTV Dodge Chrysler Jeep.
Hi, friends. LTV.
Your hometown dealer.
You know us for our friendly hometown service, no gimmicks approach, and of course, our good cup of coffee. But there's more. We work hard every day to help our customers find the right vehicle for the lowest price, many under $200 a month.
Now during Dodge Performance Days, lease a new 2019 Ram 1500 Bighorn, only $141 a month, or a 2019 Jeep Compass Limited, just $124 a month.
At LDV, we want to earn your business by helping you get more for your trade or get out of your current lease early. Call 866-LDV or stop in and visit us at LDV Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We're on Dixie Highway in Clarkson, just off I-75, exit 93. As always, I'll buy you a good cup of coffee, and if we can't make a deal, I'll even pay for your gas.
Your hometown dealer, and they're bringing you the best. And they're bringing you the best, 'cause they're your hometown dealer. LTV Dodge Chrysler Jeep.
Sale ends July 1st. Check your local paper for details or ldb.com.
Capital One knows life doesn't alert you about your credit card.
Lieutenant, catcher number 2. Also Karen in Road Day eating a hot dog. Did you mean to tip 167% yesterday at Lake Cafe restaurant? Just check it out.
So, meet Eno, the Capital One assistant that catches things that might look wrong, like over-tipping, then sends an alert to your phone and helps you fix it. Eno, another way Capital One is watching out for your money when you're not. Capital One, what's in your wallet? See CapitalOne.com for details. Limitations apply.
If you're a paint contractor, the Home Depot is here to save you money. You can get the same or better quality paint as you do at paint stores, but you also get one thing paint stores don't have: low prices every day on every gallon of high-quality Behr paint, stains, and primers. Plus, for pros, volume discounts. How much are you paying per gallon? At the Home Depot, you pay less for Behr paint every day, like Behr Pro paint starting at just $15.48 a gallon. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. U.S. only. See store for details.
Chief Financial Officer for Kids Kicking Cancer, an international nonprofit that utilizes martial arts therapy for children with cancer and other diseases. Mark became an Applied Imaging customer when he sensed the different attitude with Applied Imaging's people.
And I definitely saw that right away when we talked. The culture at Applied Imaging is definitely something that fits with Kids Kicking Cancer. The family atmosphere over there is really something that really connected with us.
Applied Imaging certainly understands nonprofit businesses.
The bottom line is increased productivity. The bottom line is increased quality of work, quality of the printing that's coming out.
Applied Imaging, fast, friendly, amazing.
You know, of all the things we've upgraded this year, I have to say that the move to Applied Imaging and the printing and the technology that we've included with them was definitely the best decision we've made.
If your office technology decisions haven't been the best, call Applied Imaging today. 800-521-0983 or visit appliedimaging.com. Applied Imaging, productive Ricoh MFPs and reliable Ricoh printers.
This hour of instant feedback brought to you by Mike Tapura of National Benefit Plans. For affordable life insurance, call 877-734-2200.
The only way you can take 97.1 The Ticket with you is the radio.com app. Download it today and listen to us anytime, anywhere. Brought to you by the LaFontaine Automotive Group, the family deal.
Fly ball, right field, deep in trouble, and gone. Jason Kipnis with a 2-run home run with 2 outs in the 3rd. And that is a big blow. 4-0 Indians.
Tribe went 8-0. Tigers were outscored on the weekend 25-6. They've lost 6 of their last 7 games, during which time they've been outscored 49-16. They're off today. They're in Pittsburgh tomorrow to take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Kind of seeing as there's an off day today.
Yeah.
And then I don't even know how much he's going to be able to play in Pittsburgh, although Ron Gardenhire made it sound like.
He's going to play for his base.
Yeah. But then again, Father's Day's a week, so there's a lot going on. Just saying, there's a lot going on. It's a busy day. So, Heather, you mentioned you spent the weekend at Comerica Park.
I sure did.
And you spent the weekend watching television.
I did. I watched more television this weekend than I feel like I ever do normally. Like, I never really watch a whole lot of TV. I don't have time. I just don't usually do that.
Don't blame the weather blew.
But yeah, I mean, I binged watched. I feel like I watched several shows, but I watched a complete series of Chernobyl. And you guys, I am obsessed with this show. And not even the show, I'm just obsessed with what happened. So,
spoiler alert, there was a nuclear meltdown.
Yeah. In case you didn't know. I honestly didn't know much about it in general. I was 1.5 when it actually happened. So
Stoney was, 45 right?
So I don't obviously remember hearing about it at the time, and I don't really remember ever learning about it, but I was never really that interested in things like that when I probably actually was taught it.
You're not interested in nuclear meltdowns?
No,
in this faraway Russian land?
History, geography, social studies, those were not my favorite classes, so I did the minimum to get by.
So listed up most of elementary.
English, math, science.
Okay, you like those.
Those, yeah.
Gym?
Yeah, exactly.
So how do they make a nuclear meltdown compelling?
What's so compelling about this is that the fact that nobody knew what was going on. And it's mind-boggling. You watch this and you're like, I don't understand why anyone would go into that building. Why would you go back to that building? Why would you stand outside of it and watch when a nuclear power plant just exploded? But everyone was so shut off from what was actually going on. And everyone was sharing these lies and being told that everything is fine. And that's what's so compelling. It's not necessarily that this thing exploded, but was how people reacted to it and how they tried to cover up what was going on. And so there's also a podcast as well from the writer and creator of the show. And for each episode, he does a new podcast. So I actually started listening to that too on my drive in and out to Comerica Park. After each episode, I would listen to the podcast. And it's just so interesting. I now want to go and visit.
Chernobyl?
Yeah, well, the city.
You would go there.
Without it, 100%.
But that's one of her things. Like
I'm so into.
She wants to live in a haunted house. She wants to go hunting for meteorites.
Yes.
There's a lot of things Heather says she wants to do.
There's a haunted house that was struck by a meteor right outside of Chernobyl.
Yeah.
It killed 3 birds in one stone.
It'd be awesome.
I'm surprised you would, because they don't know if it's safe or not.
No, it's
They
probably
think it is?
not. The actual power plant now is inside of this, bubble.
Yeah. Yes, which they have to rebuild every so often because it is still getting eaten alive by the radiation.
I have heard that the show is unbelievable.
It's just, and then when you hear the podcast and how this writer actually tried to, he did all of this research to try to create a show that is as true as it can be, and obviously also a little dramatized because it is a show.
I'm sure the Russians thoroughly cooperate too.
No, they tried to cover up everything in real time. That's why it took forever for it to be understood how big of a disaster it was here.
It's unbelievable.
Of the media.
But doesn't it seem like the same thing's happening here in Flint, number one? Or even, Jon Stewart got so much attention last week for his speech he gave to Congress about the 9/11 responders. And if for years, oh no, that's coincidental, that's nothing. And it's like, oh, okay, no, actually you all did get cancer from the pile and all the, the dangerous elements that were part of it. So we do the same thing here. The Russians are no better or worse than we are. I mean, people are still in denial of what happened in Flint and it's still going on.
Yeah, but you could see, the thing is, this was a physical disaster. So you could have, had they been allowed, we're allowed, we'll go back to the OJ chase. It would be like, oh, you can't broadcast that. They were trying to control the media to do it, which is at least we have the free media, even though, I believe there's tons of cover-ups in this country.
Yeah. So it's 5 episodes, right?
5 episodes, each are an hour, but I just completely nerded out this weekend. I now want to read all the books. I'm totally into it.
It's done. They can't do a second season or
well, there's always more, but they covered basically from beginning to end of well, what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but they could do like the aftermath of it.
Oh, without a doubt, or still the
or
aftermath.
The aftermath, or the aftermath.
And what's going on now,
Yeah.
and although there's nothing going on now, really, but I don't know. I haven't had a show like this in a long time where I just felt compelled to, like, learn everything about it that I can.
So do all the actors speak with thick Russian accents?
No, and he actually addresses that in his podcast.
What do you say?
Why they don't speak with a Russian accent. He said it after doing a bunch of auditions, he said it just kind of sounded goofy, and you started to pay attention more to the accents than you did their actual acting and your emotion behind what they were trying to convey. So he said it was going to be easier for people to get the whole feeling if they just spoke in English. Yes.
That makes a lot of sense, although it's odd that it's a thing taking place in Russia and everybody's speaking with irregular accents. But then again, they wouldn't be speaking in Russian accents, they'd be speaking in Russian.
Right.
So unless they want to do the whole show with subtitles.
And they do play some, like there's, well, it's not really their 911, but whatever their 911 system is, they do play actual sound, and that's obviously in Russian, not in English, of what's going on and the actual phone call that was made after the explosion. And there is some things in Russian.
Obviously, it wasn't as devastating, but when 3 Mile Island happened, I mean, people knew about it immediately, pretty quickly, because around here, right? Do you remember that?
I vaguely, but 3 Mile Island to me is probably like Chernobyl is to Heather. I mean, I remember there was a thing called 3 Mile Island, but I don't remember exactly how it all went down.
I don't even know what that is.
It was in New York,
in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. So
Yeah.
there you go. There's my
And
knowledge
there was a
of it.
movie based on it called The China Syndrome. With, I think Jane Fonda was in it.
I believe she was.
It was a pretty good movie, but I remember it was a huge deal.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, the modern day one's the Fukushima in Japan, which
when they had the tsunami,
and earthquake, and people can't go there.
People were worried. I know. People were worried around here about what was it, Fermi? Is that the name of the one around here?
Mm-hmm.
There was controversy.
Right, but
I don't know the details, but I think about building it.
Yeah.
When it back in the 80s, or I don't even know. Maybe it's been there longer. I'm ignorant on this.
I just think, there are so many television programs. There's actually literally too many. But it's not like you can say, stop making shows so the rest of us can catch up. I mean, I know obviously Game of Thrones, the phenomenon ended about a month ago, and I know you guys don't watch it.
Yeah.
There's always a show you're just gonna. I'm gonna miss out on it. I'm not going there. Like 5 episodes seems very digestible, so I have a feeling I will check out Chernobyl. But another, for example, I've watched maybe 2 episodes of The Walking Dead. I'm just not gonna. There's like 1,000 that's been on forever.
And it never ends. I used to watch that show when it first came out, and I watched it. It was on, I don't know, Sunday nights, and I watched it all the time. And then I lost track, and then it goes on, and you don't even know what's happening anymore. You lose track of the characters, and they introduce new ones, and I don't.
And then the further and further a show goes into the rearview mirror, like Breaking Bad or The Wire, it just becomes less and less likely, I think, that you're going to go back and consume it, even though, like, I think the furthest back I went to consume a show was Band of Brothers. Band of Brothers debuted on HBO in 2001, right around 9/11. And I remember I'd watched the first couple of episodes as they aired them. But then after 9/11, I was kind of like, I don't really feel like watching a war.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was at a weird spot, and we all reacted to it differently. I don't know. But I then went back and watched it like 2 years ago. It was awesome. The guy from Billions is in it, Damian Lewis.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you ever nerd out on something though, like that's not fiction? So,
Deadliest Catch.
Yeah, where you're just watching multiple.
Yes. Over and over and over. Yeah.
I've caught myself watching World War II stuff, like especially Hitler days. Like I'm blown away. I don't know how it got that bad. Like how was Hitler allowed to get that?
There was no media. I mean,
I saw something once that our media even glorified him at times.
Oh yeah,
like the New York Times did like fluff pieces on him in the late 30s.
They didn't believe what was going on. The Holocaust, nobody believed it. Still people. That's all different.
Oh my. Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's like
it's a Kyrie Irving. Flat earthers.
Flat earthers. Now, Stoney's right. Unfortunately, there are those people out there. 248-539-9797. Ticket text 97136. Coming up next, we'll recap the U.S. Open yesterday. Jamie and Stoney on a Monday morning. Heather.
Yeah, it's me.
Oh, I thought you were looking at me, Greg. Sorry. Heather, go ahead.
I want to talk to you about Todd Wenzel Buick GMC because they're kicking off this summer with their huge sign and drive sales event going on now through June 30th. So if you've been thinking about a new car, or maybe your car just isn't the most rideable car, then you need something better.